Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you're listening to the sound of my voice and you know you're tuned in once again to Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast. Of course, you know, I'm your host with the most. It's your boy Jay Riddy in the building. In the building with me, you know, if I'm coming in, I'm not coming in alone. I also got my homeboy, my compadre, my partner in podcast, Mr. VIP.
What's up? What's up? How everybody doing tonight?
Hopefully, all right. We got a good prediction show coming up tonight. We got the pay per view, WWE TLC. WWE TLC, one of the few specialty pay per views where you get a lot of stipulation matches. We got a stacked card to go through tonight. 12 matches that we're going to give our predictions and insight on. By now, if you're listening to the podcast and you listen to some of the old shows, you definitely will realize that we are missing one person tonight. So our wonderful, intelligent female podcast co-host, Lady Great One, could not be in the building with us tonight. But we still will get predictions from Lady Great One. She did do us the pleasure of leaving us the list of who all she predicts to get the W this weekend. So without further ado, let me hit my damn music. That's enough of that. So anyway, as I was stating earlier, we got a stat card to go through tonight over the prediction show. Only pay-per-view we got this weekend, WWE TLC. How do you think this pay-per-view is going to go, Mr. VIP? You looking forward to it? Is it Are you excited? Or, you know, maybe you might watch some football and catch the recap some other
From what it looks like, I'm excited for it. I mean, it's a stacked roster of matches, and if it's as good as the matches seem to be, it could be an amazing show, top to bottom.
Top to bottom, I can definitely agree. In the last 2 to 3 pay-per-views, I can't say that I've seen every single segment over the past couple of months. As far as the weekly shows, but just assessing the last couple of pay-per-views, the cards have been getting better and better in the last couple of months. Why do you think that is? Do you think? And I know that this is that time when everybody likes to interject this person in, even when it doesn't have anything to do with him. Do you think that losing Roman Reigns opened up the ability to open up the card?
Yeah. Losing Roman Reigns made them have to change a lot of stuff. So it made, instead of, okay, we got this plan, all of a sudden Roman is out, and now Roman is out for you don't know how long. So we have to now try to build another guy, and we got to build some more faces, got to build some more heels to cover that spot. So it's adding a lot of, we're seeing a lot of heel changes, a lot of face changes, a lot of stuff changing. Especially, it's almost WrestleMania time. So he was probably, Roman Reigns was probably going to be a big part of WrestleMania. So now all of that has to change. So we're getting a lot of, changes coming. And it's good. I'm hating that Roman is gone, but it's good that, change is good. We've seen that, how stale it's gotten. So if they change up some stuff and we start seeing some new people do new things, some people that weren't being pushed, getting pushed now, it can only be better. We now know that, we already know that it's not going to be Roman and Brock 5 or 6 or whatever at WrestleMania. So that's already a plus. So it's opened up the doors for a lot of people to step up to claim that spot now that he's not there for right now.
I agree. And this is not a jab at Roman to say, he's being, quote unquote, forced down throats, as some people would state. I also don't
No,
think
no.
that I also don't think that this has anything to do with holding anybody back per se. I think it just made them creatively realize that, hey, all right, we gotta shake some things up from top to bottom. As stacked as the
Yeah,
card, and
yeah,
we'll get into the card, in a little bit for you guys out there. I know, a lot of you guys are wanting to hear us go over the card. But just thinking about it, there's a lot of big names that are not on this pay per view for this to be as good of a
yeah.
card it is. Um, just to throw a couple out there, Rusev is not on the show. No Samoa Joe. No Shane McMahon or The Miz. No Roman Reigns, of course.
Yep.
No Sasha. No Bailey. No AOP. No Raw tag team titles, period. No Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are a lot of big names that I just named that are not part of this pay per view for it still to be such a stacked card. So it kind of tells me that, I think that they're wanting to heat up the whole stretch towards now. We're heading towards the quote unquote road to WrestleMania. So I think that it's good that they're able to finally use some of the depth that they have. I don't think that any of those guys that I named just now were slighted, or they're getting buried or anything, that they're not on the card. But it just goes to show you, like we were saying last week, this is one of the best rosters that they've ever had. And it's, unfortunately, sometimes you're gonna have shows where you might have a handful of names that you might want to see that aren't gonna make that card, especially with both shows having joint pay-per-views every month again. You're really gonna have to fight for your spot now.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, there's gonna be I mean, there's so many big names in the company, and like one thing is putting the shows together. Not everybody's gonna be on the show. I mean, look how many pay per views we've had with Finn Balor didn't have a match.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, it's good and bad. But with it being so stacked, there's gonna be people that are not on the card. No matter what, they can't have every single person on the card. And they're starting. I think the start time is like 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. I
So
think you're
they're starting early, but it's just so many people on the card that you can't have every single big name person in a feud in a match. Some people are gonna have to wait till the next pay per view because we already know a lot of them are gonna be at Royal Rumble, so you can keep some people off, and then they'll be there for Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, with much talent, and there's been talks of a lot of people being disgruntled with the way certain talent is being pushed. You're not going to be ever. Nobody's ever going to be 100% happy with the way talent is being used on the main roster in WWE. It's just, I mean, it's a state of fact. There's too many shows on the main roster. It's too often that you have to have a pay per view every week, and you barely get a chance to build on a lot of stories long term anymore. So with that being stated, like I don't think that there's any knock against WWE. Of course, they could do better with some of the writing. Let's not get that confused. But I think that it's just definitely at the end of the day, it's really difficult to balance that whole roster. You got guys that you're moving. I think you guys were talking a little bit before the show when we were discussing some things, and Tyler Breeze has been exclusively on NXT a lot lately. So it looks like they're moving him back down there. I don't know if this is to be like an enhanced talent or to kind of establish his character. But sometimes in situations like that, that's needed. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, and then now we've seen more of like the 205 people coming up. With Leo Rush and luchadors, and I mean, uh, Mustafa Ali was on SmackDown, so they're bringing them up, maybe for once in a
Not
blue
only
moon match or whatever.
not only was he
Um,
on SmackDown, he had a match with the world champion on SmackDown. He and Daniel Bryan
yeah,
had a hell of a match on SmackDown. So it's just like there's a lot of innovative stuff going on to the main roster. It's a lot of stuff to make you excited. Um,
yeah.
Without further ado, though, we'll jump right into the card here. I'm going to hop into the first match, the mixed match challenge. We got the finalist from that show, um, which I'm going to be completely 100% honest. I have not been keeping up with it as I did with the first season. Honestly, it's not to say that it hasn't been good because I really enjoyed the first one. I just haven't really had time to do it. But it's a very interesting final. You got Carmella and R-Truth, which has been a rising pair on the main roster that people are starting to like, versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. So in this matchup, the stipulation for the winner of this tournament, instead of last year getting a donation to the charity of your choosing, the winners now both get respectively the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble for both of their respective Rumbles. So with that being said, who do you think is coming away with the victory on this one?
Uh, One, this is a surprise that either one of these teams made it.
Right?
I'm very happy that they did, but it's a huge surprise with the other teams that was in there. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with R-Truth and Carmella. Um, they're so over right now, and I think it'll be something that the crowd would love to see them two win. You know, at least something big. I mean, R-Truth really hasn't had nothing big like that happen in a while. I mean, he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, but winning something would be, would be really good to see him uh, do something like that. So I'm gonna go with R-Truth and Carmella.
Cool, cool. I can get with that. And I just want to say you may want to check your signal and everything over there because it sounded a little fuzzy. Um, we're at home here. This is just me talking to you. I don't even know if this is show here, so I'm gonna be real with you and transparent every time. Like it's definitely it sounds like you're breaking up a little bit over there, but I
I was
definitely
gonna say yours sound the same too.
um, but so for that match, you're going with R-Truth and Carmella. I think I'm gonna go the same route. I really like that pair. It's not a pair that I would have imagined, but they really are meshing. Like you said, they're really over. I'm gonna go for that one. Carmella, of course, she has a history with, being a surprise in matches like this, as she was last year's Money in the Bank winner um, in the initial women's Money in the Bank match. Well, not the initial match, but you know, she was SmackDown's winner last year. Um, so yeah, I can definitely see that, and I can't wait to see when R-Truth is the number 30 entrant in the Royal Rumble, what funny antic he's gonna do in the Royal Rumble, whether he's gonna start in the wrong position or something's funny gonna happen with R-Truth, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. I love Jinder Mahal. The Maharaja character is a great character. I feel like he's underutilized, and since going to Raw, he really got relegated to a comedic role. But at the same time, he still can. He'll manage not being number 30 in the Royal Rumble. Next match on the card, we got one of the matches that everybody is looking forward to. One of the feuds that's been heating up over the last couple months since his return. Specifically, moreover, after his heel turn, we got Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins going against Dean Ambrose in a singles match. Who do you got?
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with Dean on this. I mean, to solidify his heel turn, saying y'all been holding me back. Um, this is my time now. Um, and to see what he does once he wins. I think he needs to win So I'm gonna go with Dean. I mean, we've seen Seth win, lose it, win it back. Open challenge, 50 Dolph Ziggler's. So right now, I think Dean winning it. Um, I think he needs it right now.
I will definitely agree. So right now we're gonna go 2 for 2, and I forgot to tell you guys. So we're gonna go over Lady Great One's picks. Lady Great One for the first match was picking Jinder Mahal and Alicia in that one. So she's picking that one to be the combo to win. In this matchup, Lady Great One's pick is going to be Dean Ambrose. Um, her reasoning was a similar sentiment to Mr. VIP here. I think that Seth Rollins has pretty much done everything he can do with the Intercontinental title. He's really put it on a pedestal in the last couple of months. It's exactly what you do to add prestige. I think it's now time for him to move on to something bigger and better. He deserves it. With the title moving over to Dean Ambrose, you have somebody that has just the same star power, and it'll still leave over a lot of that prestige for the next person, whoever he feuds with. So I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose in this one as well. So that's going to be all three of us in agreement on that. Moving right along. Next match, one of two actual TLC matches of the night. We got Big Braun Strowman going to give somebody these hands versus Baron Corbin. Stipulation for this match: if Braun Strowman wins, he receives an automatic bid for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble versus Brock Lesnar one-on-one. Also, Baron Corbin is going to be stripped of all of his GM power, of his acting GM power. If Baron Corbin wins, no Universal title match for Braun Strowman, as well as Baron Corbin then officially becomes the full-time general manager overall. Now, on paper, most people are going to say, oh, this is a lockup for Braun Strowman. He's going to win this turn. He's going to go to, the Royal Rumble. It's going to be Brock versus Braun Strowman again. Braun Strowman is going to get retribution and finally get the title. I would love for that to happen. But WWE is one to throw a curveball at you. And I would not be shocked. And I'm going to go as far as to say I'm predicting Baron Corbin to win this match. This is why I feel like Baron Corbin is going to win this match. If you are not having Baron Corbin as an authoritative power, as a GM on Raw, what plans do you have for Baron Corbin? With Kurt Angle wanting to move to a more active wrestling role, and Stephanie McMahon obviously is not going to be there to run the show every week, I feel like it would make a lot of sense if Corbin won this. And then it leaves you with a surprise on what they're going to do with the Universal title in Royal Rumble. So I'm picking Baron Corbin for this one. Mr. VIP, what do you got?
Oh, okay. It's hard. I agree with what you said, but it's hard for me to go against Braun Strowman just because, I love Strowman. But I don't know. I'm trying to. I think somehow Baron is gonna try to pull it out, just so we can still have a bad guy, like you said, a heel general manager, and he can still rule over everything until he does the wrong thing and Stephanie comes back or whatever.
We could get Alexa Bliss. Let me throw that out there as well. Alexa Bliss is like, what is she, like the assistant GM right now to him?
Oh, man.
So Alexa Bliss can essentially take over.
I did forget about that. I forgot about that one. Okay, yeah, because I did think about that a couple weeks ago. Okay, that'll change it. No. It's hard because, like you said, if I pick Braun, I mean, really, what are they going to do with Corbin after this? I mean, I don't know where he goes if he loses from here. But like you said, with them having Alexa, she could take over. She could take his spot
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to have her wrestle right now. Because I mean, they're not going to have two basically general managers, on the show all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, God, it's hard. I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman. I'm gonna say Braun. I'm gonna stick with one. I'm gonna say Braun. Um, just so that they can um, try to build like maybe this time, Braun will beat Brock, and then it's set up for the winner of the Royal Rumble, which I undoubtedly think that Drew McIntyre is going to win the Royal Rumble.
All right. So I'm definitely that's going to be one of my picks as well. Now I'll save a lot of we did a lot of praising Drew McIntyre last week on the podcast, so it'll definitely be some time to go into that story for me leading into Royal Rumble. But you and I are definitely in agreement on that Royal Rumble winner. I think that's the natural pick to go with.
Yeah.
But like I said, WWE is known to throw a curveball. They could do this. Corbin could lose, and then Corbin could go and win the Royal Rumble, and we got him at WrestleMania as a heel main eventing against whoever the champion is, possibly Braun Strowman. If Braun Strowman wins, and he goes and beats Brock, and then we keep this whole Corbin versus Braun feud going. Um, Once again, to give Lady Great One's pick, Lady Great One went with Braun. She said that just as simple as that, Corbin is going to get these hands, and that's what's going to happen. Moving right along, next match on the card, women's match, women's title. Second time we're going to see this one. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship on Raw. This one for me, I felt like is easy pick for Ronda. I just don't see them moving the title off of Ronda until we get into this whole, you know, UFC versus WWE horsewomen that we all are clamoring for. However, I don't think that it's going to be an easy victory. I also think that you'll probably see something from Tamina in this match, her getting involved. I think somehow Ronda Rousey is going to pull this one out, though. So I'm definitely going to go with Ronda. Lady Great One picked Ronda as well for this one.
I'm sorry, go on.
I was just saying, Lady Great One's picking Ronda Rousey as well for this one.
Yeah, I don't see Ronda losing it. I mean, especially not at this pay-per-view. Ronda's not going to lose it until, I mean, WrestleMania or one of the big four. So I see it's going to be a hard fought match like it was the first time, but I think this is basically setting up for it's starting to get ready for WrestleMania time now. So Ronda's definitely going to go into WrestleMania with the title. I mean, there's no way, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're not going to take the title off of Ronda and go in WrestleMania without her champion. So I'm going with Rousey, and like you said, Tamina may interfere. This could be the if she interferes, this could be where one of the other horsewomen interfere to stop Tamina. Because I think they're, she's keep getting jumped and they keep doing stuff. So it could be soon that one of them, or Shayna, may come up at least to help Ronda.
I'm with it. Looks like all three of us in their agreements to that one. Next match on the card, another one that I'm looking forward to. Finally, on a big pay-per-view level, champion Daniel. First of all, let me just stop for a second. I did not think that I was ever going to see this match on a pay-per-view in WWE. Of course, it's not going to be their first match. They've been in a long feud, and of course, Daniel Bryan won the title off of AJ Styles. But AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at a pay-per-view. in WWE.
Who would have thought?
Who the? And it's not even the fact that you never would have thought that you would see these guys cross paths. You got arguably the two best wrestlers in the world, not just in the company, not just on SmackDown. Arguably two of the best wrestlers in the world going at it on a
Yeah,
WWE main roster match for the biggest title in the company. If that doesn't tell you that things have changed in WWE over the last couple of years, I don't know what the hell to tell you. But with that being said, oh, not to mention Daniel Bryan's a freaking heel. Daniel Bryan
yes,
is a
yes,
heel.
yes.
So you not only get the match of two of the greatest competitors to grace the WWE ring, to grace a ring, period, but you get Daniel Bryan as the heel of all things in this match. Honestly, I could care less who wins the match. I just want it to be as amazing as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
But if I'm going to have to pick a winner, I'm going with Daniel Bryan. I just don't think that we're far away from there being some type of change and eventually him and the Miz feuding over this title. So I'm gonna every time Daniel Bryan has a title match, I'm gonna pick Daniel Bryan until they enter this feud. Point blank. Love AJ Styles,
yeah,
but I'm picking Daniel Bryan.
yeah. Like you said, this is a dream match. Um, this is gonna be amazing. Um, this is one of the matches. It doesn't have to be a stipulation. You just want to see them two go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, I don't care. I could watch either one of them win and still be happy no matter who won. Um, it could end in a draw just so that I can see it again. Um, but I think right now with the new character that they're, with the bad guy Daniel and the new character that he's bringing out, he's gonna have to have the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're not gonna take the title off of him just yet. I mean, he's probably gonna cheat to win so that they can, keep going at it. But I don't see him. I don't see him losing it right now. He's trying to build this story, and and with him and AJ, I mean, we could see this all the way to WrestleMania, and just seeing them go at it is going to be amazing. And I think they're going to keep it on Daniel Bryan. Um, just just for his character. I mean, like I said, AJ. Besides this, I mean, it's really besides. I mean, Randy Orton. There's pretty much nobody else on SmackDown he needs to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either unless somebody new comes up or he goes to Raw. There's really no other person that is really. He pretty much AJ fought everybody.
You
So
definitely freaking just stole my segue just now because I was about to jump into that. And I was like, when you started talking about he's done everything he can do, I'm like, damn it, I was about to say that. I was like, because I knew it. I felt it when you started talking about Drew earlier. I was like, you're gonna start leading into some potential storylines into the Royal Rumble. Now my pick to win the Royal Rumble is Drew McIntyre, but my number two pick to win the Royal Rumble, AJ Styles. And my thought
oh
process was that AJ Styles wins the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles chooses to go to Raw. We don't have Roman Reigns anymore. We don't have a solidified major face other than Seth Rollins anymore. So what you could see potentially is AJ Styles going to Raw. Maybe we get Seth Rollins and AJ Styles in a match or two before the draft and before WrestleMania. But I feel like eventually at some point in time in 2019, you're going to see Seth Rollins go and be the face of SmackDown.
yeah, they need to switch. That I think that would work.
I definitely think that would be the smartest route to go given the star power of the two, and given the fact that both of them have carried both of these shows on their backs for so long, that it's like you don't want to wear them out doing the same old in 2019. Why not swap them out? And I'm not saying it'll be a straight up trade for each other, but those are two big moves that I think would be in the best interest of the company going into WrestleMania or after WrestleMania and through the rest of 2019. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Royal Rumble because we're still talking about TLC. Um, so to give the next match a little TLC, you see what I did there? We got the triple threat second tables, ladders, and chairs match of the night. And it's a women's match. It's a women's match. SmackDown's Women's Championship. First and foremost, we got the man as the champion. Woo! To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm not talking about Charlotte. I'm talking about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch probably is having a historic run with the women's title on SmackDown. I don't think that the women's title on SmackDown has ever been coveted so much by the fans. And to have the caliber of talent in this match, I told you this is a stacked fucking card. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte versus Asuka in a TLC match, triple threat for the women's title. I can't even begin to tell you who I think is going to win this match.
Yeah, this is one of those I just want to watch. It's going to be amazing.
I think that's the comment. That's the comment every man is going to say when you put those three in any conversation. It doesn't even matter what the stipulation is. It doesn't even really matter if it's a match or not.
Yeah,
just the comment I just want to watch. You know what I'm saying? I think that segment that means a lot more than one thing in that situation. But continue.
Definitely. But having to pick someone, I would like to see Asuka win. I think more than anybody else, she needs it. I mean, after WrestleMania, she's gone to the bottom of the barrel. She's not feared anymore. She's, I think, what they had to do Tuesday was just, when she was beating the hell out of both of them, she had to reestablish, she's dangerous. They had to have the match with her and Charlotte to remind people she's amazing. And I think, she is the one, Becky and them are still going to be, Becky's still going to be top dog no matter what. She's still got the following with her, she needed the title at first, but now she's so over that you don't even need it. Charlotte is Charlotte Flair, so, her having the title or not, she's still going to be considered one of the best. Asuka needs this right now. She needs this to solidify her as being, dominant again. And so she can be back on top. And then somebody can be going for her, at the Royal Rumble. They're going for her title at WrestleMania again. So in order for her to be considered, nobody ready for Asuka again, I think she should win.
Yeah, I think you and Lady Great One definitely agreed on that one. Both of you guys are picking Asuka for this one. I don't know if I'm so sold on it, just because I know Asuka is not the same Asuka she was in NXT. She's not looked at the same. Contrary to popular belief, I think that's a good thing. Only reason I think that it's a good thing is we got to get her as far as away from that streak as possible. And I think that in the last year of her being on the main roster, I think that that's what they've been trying to do. Now it's getting to the point where we can work on a little bit more character development rather than just giving the age-old, she's unbeatable, blah, blah, blah. It's like we do that with everybody. Ryback had a streak. Goldberg had a streak. MVP had a losing streak. Charlie Haas had a losing streak. Streaks are overrated.
I'm cool the winning streak, lose, winning streak, whatever. But it's just as soon as she lost, it was like, I mean, right after that, she losing to Carmella. I'm like, so you lose one match, and now you can be beat by anybody easily.
But she
If she
lost.
would have still, if she would have still kept the dominant, she could have. I mean, she could have lost, but still been dominant. Like she hasn't even been a threat anymore. And she, it just feel like she went so far down. As you know, she's unstoppable, and now Carmella can beat her. She's losing any type of match. She's getting knocked out and not kicking out of regular, nothing like spectacular is stopping her. Charlotte loses the title. You don't, Charlotte the next week isn't going to get beat by anybody. Charlotte lost the title to Becky. Charlotte still was beating the hell out of Ronda Rousey. It wasn't like she went down uh, so far. Asuka, she loses to Charlotte and just bam, now she goes to a jobber. Now she's dancing with Naomi. I'm like, that's my only thing with it. I'm cool with them, trying to come up with new stuff for her to show more character. But don't have me have this girl been undefeated for over 500 some days, have her have the title. I mean, all this time, and everybody's been trying to go against her, and she beating everybody, and then she lose one time, and now she can't win a match. That's my only problem with it.
Yeah, you know what? I think, personally, for my take, I think that that's a little overreacting, and it's not just you. I think that's the general consensus that a lot of people think. And just as you would say that somebody who is not really somebody that's in the spotlight deserves to get a push, sometimes you got to give somebody who has been like skyrocketed. You got to bring them back down to earth a little bit. I think that in the last year, you've seen her lose some matches, but I don't think that these are clean losses. In the same breath that you say she lost to people like Carmella, let's not forget Charlotte lost to Carmella. Not only did Charlotte lose to Carmella, Charlotte lost to what? Like it was a leg move or something that happened in that match that she got rolled up afterwards or something when she fought Carmella. It's fine if your star power is really like that, it doesn't matter what match you win or lose. And I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier when you were referring to Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Whether they are or aren't in the title picture, they have characters that are now established to the point where they know how to make a segment work without having to have the strap on them. Like if Becky loses the title this weekend, which I'm thinking in my mind, I feel like she's going to retain, just because that's how I feel in that situation. I feel like it could eventually be a feud with her and Asuka in the future. But if they were to take the title off of Becky Lynch this weekend, they could really just work on this whole the man gimmick and milk it, and really, really like turn her into a superstar with that gimmick. And she doesn't have to even have the women's title. Hell, that could be another move, like I was discussing Seth and AJ earlier. That could be another move where, hey, Becky has been on SmackDown for years. Let's move her to Raw with the man character and really skyrocket her.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Nia Jax still talking about how she knocked her out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're keeping that storyline going, so there's got to be a payoff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
right, you hit the nail on the head.
She wouldn't be, she wouldn't still be, saying it every week if they weren't going to pay. There wasn't going to be no payoff. If she just accidentally did it and they ain't going to do nothing with it, she would be quiet. She wouldn't say anything else about hitting her. They're just going to talk about Ronda. But she said it every week, something about it. So they're building for something to still happen with them. And like you said, Becky's been on SmackDown forever. God, I mean, she was the first women's champion. So look how long it's been since she's been there. Charlotte has switched shows. Other people switch shows. Becky's still been on the same show. And switching her over to Raw, if you still have Sasha and Bailey, we haven't got to see them fight, basically since NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so there's so many more people for her to fight if she goes over there.
Hmm. Yeah, I can definitely get with that. I'm all for it. Um, what is it, man? Especially like there's talks of potentially moving. Like I said, I keep veering off and going into some dirt sheets on potential storylines and moves for 2019. But one of the reasons that made me feel that way and say that the switch was needed with Becky is because there is a lot of talks of Ronda Rousey going to SmackDown for 2019. We know that she's the biggest name in WWE as far as a women's wrestler. Hell, probably the biggest name in WWE, top five name, period. No matter the
Yeah,
gender. But with the whole deal going down with Fox in 2019, and with them stating that they want to beef up the roster when that happens, that is a potential move that was being discussed. So if we get the man to go to Raw and get Ronda Rousey to go to SmackDown in return, I think that we're all for. I think we're in for a treat on that one.
yeah,
Next match on the card, I'm gonna go Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre. This is the only singles match, non-title singles match on the show, with no stipulation. So you're just gonna get purely Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Now I know that Finn Balor has been in a lot of meaningless matchups on pay-per-views for the last couple of months, especially feuding with Baron Corbin in a feud that nobody gave a shit about. But you got one of the guys who is probably one of the best high flyers on the main roster. He's a great wrestler all around, but one of the best high flyers versus one of the best power guys. Both of them huge indie following. Another match that I'm looking forward to, as we stated about the Seth Rollins and Dean, as well as the AJ Styles versus the D. Bry earlier. Um, I'm gonna start with Lady Great One's pick. So Lady Great One picked in this match Drew McIntyre, and I think that a lot of us are probably naturally picking Drew. But if Drew McIntyre is going to go into Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble, if that's what we're all feeling, now I think they got to throw us a curveball by knocking him down a peg before we get there. So I would not be surprised if Finn Balor wins this. Finn Balor gets looked at as a favorite, and Drew McIntyre goes and wins the title at the Royal Rumble. So I'm picking Finn Balor in this matchup. You know I like to pick Finn. I can't not pick Finn in a match. Come on. It wouldn't be me if I did.
yeah. See, I'm kind of agreeing with you. It's kind of Finn need like I've been saying. Finn needs this more than Drew. I mean, Drew. We already know Drew is at the top right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, win, lose, or draw, he's money. He's gonna be, big. Finn, like you said, Finn has not really had he hasn't had any real feud or real storyline. I mean, this is the best, you know, this is really the best feud he's had. Um, and if you want to build him up, like I said before, build him up to get ready for Royal Rumble, get ready for, a big match, hopefully a big match at WrestleMania. You know, he can't get this. You can't have him get destroyed like everybody else is being get destroyed by Drew, and then have him come back. Drew can lose and still, can still it'll still look good. I think Finn needs a win to, reestablish. Hey, Finn is here. He can be the face of the company too, um, and to get people excited about him again. I'm hoping, this is a big, big match. I'm hoping he brings the demon out because, he's gonna need all he can, and especially to go against Drew. And he needs to start bringing the demon out, at least big time matches like this, where the demon fights longer than, just a couple minutes or whatever. But he needs to, bring the demon out. He needs to put on a good match because, like I said, he hasn't really had that many matches on pay-per-view in a while, and especially not of any importance, a storyline or anything building him to the match. So I really think that Finn should win to build him back up and to establish him as one of the top guys. Like I said, Drew is already a top heel. No matter what, we need to get Finn up there as a top face. So I'm gonna go with Finn Balor.
Okay. So we got Lady Great One with Drew. You and I both pick Finn Balor in this one. Once again, that's a match I can't wait to see. Moving right along. The ladder match of the night. Ladder match. This is one of the underrated feuds that I feel like are occurring on Raw. The reason I feel like this is an underrated feud is because you got somebody that is a newer guy that is supremely over, even when he was a heel, that you just made him face, that people just really love him, versus a heel that people really hate. Like, people really like to hate Bobby Lashley. So it's just one of those pure matches where you really have a pure heel versus a pure face, emotional wise. And I think that that's going to add a lot of spark to that match that otherwise you won't see, like a lot of huge spots that are going to occur, so to speak. Like, you got a lot of these matches that when you line them up, everybody looks like it's going to be a good match because you're going to see a lot of high flying or technical or a bunch of, crazy spots. This match could definitely be fueled off raw emotion alone, and that's going to make it a decent match. One of the stipulations, not your average ladder match. In this match, the ladder, guitar, Elias's guitar is going to be suspended above the ring, and the first person that pulls the guitar down will be able to use it as a weapon. So it's not technically the climbing the ladder to win. You're really just climbing the ladder to El Kabong somebody. So in this situation, even though Lio Rush is out there with Bobby, or is going to be out there with Bobby, or get involved somehow, I'm looking at Elias to walk away with the win in this one. Lady Great One is in agreement. She thinks that this is going to be Elias's time, and he's getting this big singles win. So really, it's all on you, Mr. VIP. We got 2 votes for Elias.
So let me ask you, because I don't think I don't know if they said it. So whoever gets the guitar first and hits the other person, is that the person that wins, or do they just get to hit him with the guitar and then they still got to pin him?
That I'm not sure.
Because that was one of the things. That's one of the things. I don't see Bobby Lashley climbing, up there. So without a doubt, I think Lio Rush is going to be the one that's going to go up there and get the guitar for him once he gets him down. Because I don't see Bobby climbing up there, or I definitely don't see him falling, from the top of it. So I think Lio is going to be the one that's going to get it for him. It depends on if it's whoever hits him first, or whoever gets the pin. It could be that Lio goes up there, gets it, gets back down, tries to hit Elias. Elias moves, gets the guitar. He hits Lio Rush with the guitar, and then all of a sudden he gets speared by Bobby. That's the only thing. Just deciding how you actually win the match. I'll say I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. Bobby. Just the interference from Lio Rush. I don't know. It's like I said. I don't know what the stipulation of how you actually win the match. So if it's just getting the guitar down, he's gonna get the guitar down. He's gonna hit Lio with it, and then he's gonna get speared. And then that's how he's gonna win. That's how Bobby's gonna win. And then maybe if they have another match, he might be in a cage or something. But I think Leo's gonna be the deciding factor of this match. So I'm gonna go with Bobby.
Okay, I felt like you were probably gonna go with Bobby to be different in this situation, and I almost wanted to do it, but I feel like it's Elias's time, and I can't go against Elias on this one. Next match on the card, another phenomenal match on this card: The Bar versus the New Day versus the Usos in a triple threat tag team match for the SmackDown tag team titles. Of course, The Bar is coming in as the champion, so they of course got the champion's advantage in this whole situation. But then again, because it's a triple threat, they're actually at a disadvantage because they don't even have to get pinned to lose the titles. Um, Honestly, if I'm just gonna be point blank to the point, I think it'll be a good match, but I think that the Bar is gonna win this one, just because you've leaned on the Usos and the New Day a lot on SmackDown within the past year and a half to carry the tag team division, and I think the Bar came in and just added an additional element to make it three phenomenal tag teams that they have. So I'm really going to say we're going to stick with the Bar, and I think that you may see them go against either the Usos or the New Day again in the next coming pay per view, in a one on or in a regular non stipulation
Um,
tag match.
really and true, I don't care. Um, I don't really care who wins. I want to see the match. Um, I just want to enjoy the match. All of them have won the titles multiple times, over and over and over and over again. I mean, it really. I mean, somebody needs to go to Raw to show Raw how to do tag teams, or somebody new, or build somebody up as another tag team. Like you said, we've seen New Day and Usos go have 100 matches. All of them have been spectacular, but we've seen them fight like 100 times. Then we got the Bar in it. They fought, 50 times. They've all been great matches. Love every time they fight. It's just, it's like there's nobody else for them to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yes, you're going to have a spectacular match, but you just want to see them fight somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say the Bar two. There's no real point of New Day winning it again, and there's no real point of the Usos winning it again on SmackDown, um, and no point of the Bar losing it right now. Um, I just, I just, I love all of the matches they have. I just think that they need something new. It has to be something they need. The draft needs to come or something. Because I swear, we've been watching these teams fight for a year or over a
Over a year.
year. It's been the Usos dominating everybody, then New Day dominating everybody, then Bar dominating everybody. I mean, it's been the same formula with all three teams.
It's
Um,
it's more so the
it's
bar.
got
The
to
bar
be,
is getting into that dominate everybody moment now. But yeah,
yeah,
you've seen the other two. Like we've been New Day and Usos to death on SmackDown,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm interjecting just a little bit because I feel like you're inching towards something that I want to say, and I don't want you to steal my thunder twice tonight. But in the moment when we're talking about moving people, the Usos need to be on Raw. Point blank.
Yeah,
Period. Just as far as teams and stars that are on SmackDown, Naomi should probably go to Raw at some point. The Usos should go to Raw at some point. Becky Lynch needs to go to Raw at some point. And it's just because we need fresh matches out of these people. Um,
yeah,
and the Usos just going to Raw and say if you get somebody like AOP in return to go to SmackDown and you can eventually get AOP versus some of those other teams on SmackDown and you can build them up in that whole division.
yeah.
You can have the Usos going to just imagine a tag team match period with the Usos versus
The
somebody
revival.
the revival. You took the words out of my mouth. Like take I knew it. I felt it. I was like, you gotta do it. I'm like, the Usos versus the Revival would probably be a major tag team match on Raw,
I
and
mean,
that could
yeah.
probably bolster that whole division if they were to bring the Usos to Raw.
Just them two. I mean, let them two do what they did on SmackDown. I mean, the Revival has been having to do all these stupid matches, being beat by everybody, having to fight top guys, top single stars, and all this stuff. And the Usos coming over there, it'll be an actual tag team that they could fight that already has great matches on SmackDown, and now let them come to Raw, and with their gimmicks, with their whole Uso penitentiary, it would mesh so well with the Southern Boys of Revival. I mean, it's a perfect match. And like I said, I mean, you look at SmackDown. The difference is SmackDown has a couple great tag teams, but we've seen them so many times. Raw has crap. You got AOP, but you're not doing anything with them. You got the Revival, but you're not doing anything with them. I mean, AOP just lost to two single stars, really. And their manager lost. They're having handicap matches. AOP is having handicap matches against people. Why? So I think to bolster their, if they could come over and do the same thing they did with SmackDown on Raw, it'd be perfect. And then, if New Day stays together, you can have the New Day bring Sanity up and have Sanity and them, Sanity and New Day rekindle their feud and actually make Sanity relevant. And we could go on for a while.
That feud could be dope without even having the tag team titles involved.
Yeah.
Straight up.
They don't need a title for that.
Just like it was with the Wyatt family versus the New Day when the New Day was on Raw a few years ago. You could really build Sanity. You could build, Eric Young as a major head of the stable, which would segue into him either being the mid-card star or a main card star, so to speak, a main event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can go writing-wise with that situation to really build the whole tag team division on both shows. But, I mean, just the Usos, if they were to go to Raw, I think that if it would make a whole lot of sense if it was a surprise. I don't even want them to get drafted to Raw. I just want it to be a situation where they just surprised, handpicked by the GM. They would get such a huge pop, put the titles on them, and have them in a long-term feud with the Revival. Like you said, you got 4 phenomenal wrestlers in those 2 tag teams. They're going to put on a show, just from a wrestling element, then from a character development. It's an easy booking decision with the Uso Penitentiary versus, with them doing all their high-flying tricks and everything versus the Revival, who are fist, not flip.
Round and pound.
You know what I'm saying? Round and pound. It would make so much sense just from a character standpoint and a wrestling standpoint. As a matter of fact, I want this. I want this more than anything that I want in the main roster right now. Vince, you need to make it happen. Please make the Usos go to Raw, and please have this feud happen, please. I spent a lot of time on this tag team match. I don't want to feel like I'm disregarding the next match. By the way, Lady Great One is picking the Usos as the winners of this match, stating that it's been a while since the Usos have been tag team champions, so they could put them back into their whole feud, which I wouldn't be against it, but, we just saying it a lot. That's my only thing. But the next match in the card, tables match. Up-and-comer Ruby Riott versus the veteran Natalya. The Riott Squad has been beating the holy high hell out of Natalya for months. Pretty much ever since her coming to Raw, and ever since the whole situation with her father, it's just been the Riott Squad has just been there for the sole purpose of beating the hell out of Natalya. With that being said, I don't see this being any different. I'm really high on Ruby Riott. I've always been high on Ruby Riott. I think that she's very green, but she has potential to be one of the top stars in the women's division. And I'm going to pick her in this match. Lady Great One is going with... Who did she pick? She went with Natty in this one. She said Natty has to get her come up at some time. I can agree with that, too. Who you got, Mr. VIP?
Yeah, I think. See, I don't. If they look everything she's been saying about her dad, that just that whole storyline, I think Natty's going to win on just that. Um, just because of all the stuff she said about her dad, they may jump her after, but I think for the match, so you can get that feel good moment. I think they're going to have her win. Um, I don't know. I just I just want some. I don't know what I want from Natalia because like every storyline she does, I just don't like. It's just none of them have really been. I haven't been like interested in any of Natalia's storylines. I love Natalia to death, but there's not been like a storyline that she's done in a long time that I've like really cared about. I mean, it's like nothing they do. They don't ever come up with any really good storyline for her that makes you really mad. Really care about it. And I know the whole her dad dying and you trying to incorporate that in the story, um, and helping to make Ruby evil if she's talking about her dad, but I just it's really like, guys, can y'all find something else? It's just I'm just not really. I still don't really care. I hate her dad died, but the storyline is still just like,
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
you know.
Jesus. Jeez,
Uh,
God. You're
I'm
ruthless
just,
right now, man. God. You gotta have a
I'm
little
just, I'm just
sympathy,
saying,
man.
like, I'm being honest. Just like I said, it's uh, every time Natalia comes out, I'm just like, man, she's beautiful, but God, I don't really care. You know, the whole friendship with Rhonda didn't care, can't stand it. Now I mean, her getting jumped by three people, and Rhonda's trying to help, and Rhonda also has to deal with her thing. So it's just, uh, I'm just like, can y'all find something else? Got to be something else y'all can do with her that's actually interesting.
You know what? That hurts
Um,
my feelings, man. Like, because you know me. You know who my favorite wrestler of all time is. You know,
yes, I do.
you know, like as soon as she debuted, I'm like, yes, push her to the moon. And it's just like she's been very lackluster on the main roster. We talked about, just to skip back to that triple threat match with Becky, Charlotte, and Asuka. We talked about these women being able to develop their characters to the point where it doesn't matter if they're in the title picture or not. They're going to make something interesting out of wherever they are on the show. Natalia is one of those wrestlers that she's a great wrestler, but she never developed her character at all since being on the main roster. And I think that they put the final nail in her character coffin with her doing the whole cat gimmick. And I really think that after that, I couldn't really take her seriously anymore. Um, she's one of those people that need a women's version of what Drew McIntyre did. She needs to go. She needs to leave the company and bolster her career in the Indies for a while before she decides to come back, if she comes back. I think that she's just been a person. She's been a women's wrestler who when you see her in matches that are high profile matches, like the match that she had with Charlotte Flair when Charlotte Flair was an up and comer in NXT, to some other major matches that she's had. She has the ability to put on anywhere between a 3 and a 5-star match. It's just the character makes her so blah that you don't care even if you want to. It's like you
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah,
Like I love Natalia to death, and I know that one of our mutual friends is probably listening to this show right now. Probably want to square up with both of us while we're talking right now. But it's just that's been the thing. Like if it wasn't for the poor character development that occurred on the main roster with her, I think that she could have been an all-time great. And I think that the
Yeah,
ball was seriously dropped with her. Um,
yeah. But like I said, it's just they never do anything to make you really care. I mean, she turns heel or face. It's just never like, oh my god. When she comes out, it's more like, oh, she's beautiful. If she's, depending on who it could be against, yeah, it's going to be a good match. But you're just still like, I just don't really care. It's never nothing. It's not something that makes me really care when she comes out. Not saying nothing about her wrestling ability. It's just all of a sudden you hear that music. I'm like, oh, here comes Natalia. Great, yay! And like you said, that stupid cat shit. Oh my god, the dumbest. Oh,
that was
that
the
shit
nail in the
made me.
coffin.
That shit made me really, really. That made it even worse. I really just didn't want to see her every time she did that cat. I'm like, what the hell are you doing now? You like cats, great. You're not gonna, you're not dressing up. It's stupid as hell. It's just a dumb. It's stupid for her to come out like that. I'm like, God, you know, start. I don't know what they need to do, but like you said, maybe she needs to go away for a while.
Hmm. Like she just,
Go away for a while. But like, at this point in her life, I'm like, I mean, I guess she's still young. I guess she can still do it, but you just like, you know, you got to do something else because you've been there so long. Uh, no matter what, people will love you. Because of who you are, because of your name. Um, but it's just nothing really exciting. And maybe if she turned heel, and if we could see like some incredible matches against her and Ronda, against somebody else. I mean, she's never, Sasha Bailey, somebody that she had just some really incredible matches and can go back and forth with, and they develop more of a character for her. Then maybe you could be excited. But it's just nothing there. It's just so bland, and just she comes out and you're like, oh great, Natalia. Sharpshooter, yay, she won the match. I'm glad.
hmm
It's and it starts making everybody they put her in there with. I'm like, oh god.
she's what
Every time the Riot Squad come out there, I'm like, here we go with Natalia.
she's what I didn't
Something.
want. Uh, she's what I didn't want, or what I don't want to happen to Naomi. It's just like
Yeah,
great wrestler, okay mic work, but it's like you guys still seem like you want to fish around to see what character works. Now, Naomi's current character seems to be a match, and I think that saved her career because she was always very athletic, great wrestler, phenomenal looking. We're not even going to get into that. But it was just like, when Natalia is like, that's what I didn't want her to be. I didn't want her to be a great wrestler that nobody cared about. But that's what she turned into. That's what I don't want Naomi to be. Um, or didn't want Naomi
yeah.
to be. I'm glad that they saved her character. Um, moving right along to the next. Well, did you have any more to comment on Natalia? I think we kind of drug her through the
Oh,
mud for a second.
yeah, we're done. I'm already broke with her.
We drug her through the mud. Next match, we've seen this match a lot this year. Never disappoints. We've seen it on a lot of pre-shows. You and I saw this live. Um, I think you and I saw this live. Did you go with us to SmackDown when we went to SmackDown?
The one in Raleigh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get to make that one.
Oh man, I saw this match live. Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander are going to put on an absolute freaking clinic. Of course, at the time, Cedric Alexander was riding his couple of month winning streak, which you see when I was talking about streaks earlier. Cedric Alexander had to go through the same thing. He went through an 8-month winning streak where he didn't lose a single title defense or match, and then after he lost the title to Buddy Murphy, he kind of got drugged down a little bit, and now he's making his way back up. if I'm gonna go for the winner for this one, I'm gonna pick Buddy Murphy, just because I think that they're gonna do a little more pushing with Buddy Murphy before they decide to jump back on the Cedric Alexander train. I really think Cedric Alexander is another one of those guys that he may need a little character development, but just in the ring wise, do something with him like you did with Mustafa Ali. Put him on the main roster. Let him have a match against either the heavyweight champion or the mid card champion, just to showcase his skill and to help bolster his fan base a little bit. Um, Lady Great
Yeah.
One is going with Buddy Murphy on this one as well. So we got two for Buddy Murphy, Mr. VIP. I keep having you end it. Who you got?
Uh, for this one, I'm gonna go. Oh man, um, this is another one that I just love seeing these two wrestle. I mean, they have amazing matches. Um, oh man, this is hard. I think. Mm, I don't think. I think this is Cedric's coming back, but I don't think he's gonna win this first one. I think Buddy's gonna win the first one, and then the next time they wrestle, I think Cedric will win that. I'm thinking they probably would like to have Cedric go into WrestleMania as the champion, and then maybe have maybe Cedric and Mustafa Ali again. Um, this time with Mustafa winning. But right now, I think they're going to keep it on Buddy for right now.
Mm-hmm. I kind of agree. I think that they're going to keep it on Buddy. I think that Buddy's going to hold the title until Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. I think that he's going to drop the title on one of those two big four pay-per-views, and it's going to be to Mustafa Ali. Um,
Yeah.
Mustafa
No,
Ali.
no matter what, I think Mustafa's going to be the next big thing. He's the next champion coming.
Yeah, that's the most deserving guy of being the
Yeah.
champion on the roster. We saw Drew Gulak's stock drop tremendously after Enzo left. Great wrestler, phenomenal character, great talker. Love that he's using a submission hold as a finisher, with his version of the Dragon Sleeper, the Gulak. I love Drew Gulak, but it's just like, his stock dropped a lot after Enzo left. I think that Mustafa Ali has been the consistently most wowing, talked about cruiserweight without the title. And I think that now it's like you got to give him that title just because of that. If nothing else, just because he just had a world title match. So if he just had a world title match and he's not getting another cruiserweight title match, something doesn't make sense there.
I mean, I think like realistically, Mustafa Ali has become tenfold better than he was when he wrestled at WrestleMania. Like we knew he was good at WrestleMania, but since then he's had incredible matches. Like every time you see him, I'm just like, oh my, I'm like blown away by him. And I think, like you said, his stock has rose so much from what it was. I mean, I just think there's so much they could do with him. I mean, that I don't know if you got to see the promo that they did with him when he was talking like outside and it was raining, and I was like, oh my god, with him when he was fighting, I think it was Hideo Itami. I was just like, oh my god, this dude just killed this promo.
That's exactly
I was like, I ain't never.
I said that's exactly what I was going to get to too. Go ahead.
I was just like, oh my god, this is one of the. I mean, it's so unique. And then the interest he had at WrestleMania was so unique. His story, for him to be a foreigner Muslim, and they're having him as a good guy, is spectacular. And people loving him. I'm loving, his character normally is not one that, we have as a good guy. We have that as a beloved character, but people love him. Mm-hmm. And he's shown that they can put on incredible matches. I mean, everybody was like, oh, 205 was nothing. It wasn't that exciting. But every time you saw, Cedric, Mustafa, or Buddy, I mean, they tore the roof off. And when you finally put them on the pay-per-view, not on the pre-show, on the actual pay-per-view, and show that they can deliver on the pay-per-view, I mean, it's amazing. Mustafa Ali, I've watched like so many of his matches, and every time he'll pull out some move I've never seen anybody else do. Every time, and I'm like, this dude just pulled out some move I've never seen anybody do, but he just pulled out an amazing move I've never seen anybody do it the last time he fought. Every time he's just coming up with these amazing moves, and he's getting the crowd, to care about him. So I think he's going on to be the future.
He's definitely got the best star power on 205 Live right now.
Yeah.
Like you said, head and shoulders. And the turning point for me, like you said, was since WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania match this last year leading up to it really showed, like, promo-wise, like, he can build a feud. And then, see, he can build a feud. He has the look. Then on top of the look, he's a phenomenal wrestler. When him, Buddy Murphy, and Cedric Alexander, when I tell you they have some of the cleanest transitions, in spots that I've ever seen, like clean to where there's no botches, like the entire match. Transition. It not as good as the Will Ospreay and Ricochet type matches, but almost on that par.
But it's more. The only thing with them, the Will Ospreay and them, is just those type of matches are just spot. Those are spot. They just got triple power bombed off of the top rope, and then they get right back up. At least, and Mustafa Ali, their matches they're still telling the story. So when they do an amazing move, you actually see the guy hurt. He don't just get back up and they start doing. That's the only difference. It looks like he got hurt. I mean, some of the times that they've gotten kicked, or some of the moves that they've done to each other, I'm like, oh my God, he just kicked his head off. Oh my God, he just threw him for the top. Mustafa's hurt. He's got to be hurt. What I just see, he's got to be hurt. They're more impactful stuff. But yeah, they've raised the bar, and there's some, like speaking of Ricochet, when Ricochet comes, when all of them, some of the guys from NXT come up too, just imagine seeing Mustafa Ali and Ricochet in a match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and we still got Leo Rush and Mustafa Ali and Cedric, so we still got some other people on 205 that we still got to see.
Oh, I just got a chill of an idea that I just had. Oh my goodness. I think that Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, and Mustafa Ali have carried 205 Live so much that I almost want them to be a stable and to go to the main roster as a stable. I don't want it to be like the Shield. I want it to be more so of like these guys are coming in like the underdogs. We've been overlooked. We've been, pushed on the back burner while we've been consistently putting on the best, quality matches, blah, 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 and we're not going to be looked at over anymore. They just start coming to the main roster and destroying people. It's going to be tough to do with them all being...
I don't know if I see them. I don't know if I see them coming as a group, but I do see those three. I do see them being able to just go to the main roster to fight. I mean, right now, one of my dream matches is to see Mustafa Ali and Seth Rollins.
You just want to see them both come out wearing the same gear. Who's gonna wear it better?
I want to see them, Cedric and Finn Balor. There's some people on the main roster. I mean, especially those three. Those three are big enough that it wouldn't be, like, oh my God, this guy's gonna get killed by these, by the main roster people. I mean, they're all big guys, especially Murphy. So I think all of them would still be able to, they'll still be able to do all the moves they do on, each other in the cruiserweights, but, being able to do it on the bigger name people. I think they would be good on the main roster or on Raw or SmackDown, all of them could do well. I don't know how much Murphy would be, because he's not going to be able to say I'm the Juggernaut when he's on Raw or SmackDown, because there's so many people far bigger than him.
Hell, if Crash Holly could be a super heavyweight, he can be the Juggernaut.
but I think that they can really, really do big things, and we're I mean, shit. Like you said, we just saw Mustafa Ali fighting Daniel Bryan, and he's bigger than Daniel Bryan. And when I seen that, I'm like, this cannot be happening. Mustafa is not on here fighting Daniel Bryan. What in the hell? Come on, bring somebody else up to fight AJ. I'm like, oh my God, y'all are killing with this. I mean, amazing match. Mm-hmm. So many possibilities that they have.
Absolutely. And we spent a lot of time talking about this because I really don't give a shit about this next match on the card, which is the last match left. I'm really not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. But it's a chairs match. This is also on the card. Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. This is definitely my pick for pitch break of the night. It's not the fact that either of them are terrible wrestlers. It's just like, we saw this, it feels like 20 years ago. And, I mean, pretty much I just feel like Rey Mysterio he's going to get RKO'd into something or off or something. And then that's going to be the end of that match. Maybe he's going to jump off the top rope and get RKO'd into a chair. And then that's going to be the end of the match. Part of me wants to say this is his debut singles match on a pay-per-view. Since coming back, and they may go with him to win this match. But all signs point to Rey Mysterio getting RKO'd in some way, form, or fashion. That's going to be, it'll probably be epic, but it's like that's what we're going to be waiting for. Matter of fact, it's almost to the point that if it doesn't happen, it's a waste of a match.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. Like you said, when they started feuding, I'm like, oh my God, we've seen this shit. The hell are you doing this damn match again? We saw this like 6 years ago when he left. What the hell is they bring it back? And oh my God, Orton picking on Rey Mysterio again. Great. Mm-hmm. Now he's just tearing his mask. It's the same storyline you did before. I don't really care. Who cares who wins? Find somebody else to fight. Basically, if I got to pick somebody, Orton probably.
Lady Great
but I really don't. Go on.
I was just saying, Lady Great one picked Orton too. I think we're all picking Orton on this one, just because.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. I want him to come back to fight, have a feud with Almas, Cien Almas. I want to see Ray fight some of the new people. I don't want Ray to come back fight the damn same people he fought 5 years ago when he left. What the hell would I want to see that again?
Has anybody seen Shelton Benjamin? Is Shelton Benjamin still around?
Shelton Benjamin, the last time he was on the show was when he fought AJ. Wow. Haven't seen him since then. But yeah, I mean, I wanted Ray to come back to fight some of the new people. I couldn't care less about seeing him fight. Shit, if I fucking see him, if they bring Big Show out and I see damn Ray and Big Show, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm like, God damn it, not a damn game. I swear to God, if Ray comes out there and Big Show comes out there, I'm like, what in the hell? I do not want to see you fight the same people you fought 10 years ago.
You know what I would hate to see worse than that? Is if Kane bring his old ass out, his old out of shape. If he bring his old out of shape mayor ass out there with that mask on, and him and Rey Mysterio fight again, I'm cutting the TV off. It's just I don't want to see it. What I want to see is Rey Mysterio have one last hurrah before he hangs up the boots for good. And right now, SmackDown's main eventer, SmackDown's heavyweight champion, would be the perfect feud for Rey Mysterio for a limited.
Hell yeah.
Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio could have probably some of the greatest, Just like
Man, ooh, I didn't even think of that.
and like Ray
Oh
has
my,
lost a lot of weight since he left the last time. Like he almost looks like 1997 Ray. In 1997 Ray, that was feuding with uh, Eddie Guerrero on WCW. In my eyes, is probably one of the best wrestlers that I've ever seen in my life. Um,
yeah.
so with him and Daniel Bryan, if they could do like a short term feud, of course Daniel Bryan come out victorious, but just the match quality that they could have if they did a short term feud with that would be amazing.
Man,
Rey Mysterio,
you got me with that one. Oh man.
Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. You could do Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. I would love that. Um,
Yeah.
just somebody who is going to be able to keep up and transition with Ray is really what he needs in these last.
I,
Go ahead.
like you got. I mean, like you said, yeah. Like you said, him and Daniel Bryan would be so amazing because it'll be, even for the title or whatever, it's somebody that's a big name star that is not going to just overpower him. It is two smaller guys that could both do all the high flying, do all the stuff, and it wouldn't be just somebody like everybody else that he fights just overpowering him. It'll be somebody that's more trying to out wrestle him. And really and truly, it's basically like you said, it's old. That would be old school Ray. It would be him versus Jericho. It would be him versus Dean Malenko. It would be him versus Eddie Guerrero. It's not a person that's overly, way bigger than him. It's just a person that can wrestle. So he could have amazing matches with him and with Daniel, and especially with Daniel as a bad guy right now. Oh, this is perfect to see them two fight. I mean, with Daniel Bryan as a bad guy, him and Rey Mysterio, that is what I want to see. That's the kind of match I would love. That would be a dream match to see.
And
Like I said, him and Almas, him and AJ, him and Samoa Joe. Now he could still do Samoa Joe. Somebody like that, I would like to see. I don't want I don't bring him back. I don't want to see him fight anybody that he's fought 10 years ago and had feuds with again. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see him with Ray. Against Orton. I don't want to see him against Big Show. I don't want to see him against Sheamus. I don't want to see him against any of those people. Just new guys. Some of the new people that we've never seen him fight against. That's what I want to see. Same thing with Jeff Hardy. Don't put him. I don't want to see him and Randy Orton. I want to see him versus a new person that we've never seen him fight. I want Orton to fight a new person that we've never seen him fight. Not beat up on the old people that you've beaten up on when you were the Legend Killer, when you were the Apex Predator, when you were Evolution. You've already beat up on these people every time you were some old character. I want you to fight somebody new. I want you to attack somebody new. I can see Ray, like Ray versus Nakamura. Somebody besides somebody we've already seen. Bring them back for something new, not bring them back to show what he used to do again. I don't care to see that. That's why nobody cares about the match because we've already seen it. Go on. Almas is there. All these other people are there. Let them fight him.
Exactly. And we know Ray can still go. Like in the Survivor Series, Ray showed that he still got a lot left in the tank, so he can still move at a very quick pace. So him and Daniel Bryan could potentially be a very fast-paced world heavyweight title match.
The thing I hate with the WWE did with Ray is of course I know because there wasn't as many smaller people, but you always put him against somebody that's just too big, overly too big, where you can't have, really competitive matches. He just gets the hell beat out of him, and then he, hits the 619. You put Ray against Batista, you put him against Kane, you put him against The Undertaker, you put him against all monsters. Great Khali. And I'm like, why are you put him against smaller people that he could have matches with?
I'm like, he's sitting there doing the 619 and doing that splash, and I'm like, that looked like that didn't even hurt.
Yeah,
when he did it.
shit. They gonna bring him to Raw and he gonna fight Braun Strowman. And you go like, come on, why? Why the
They
hell is he fighting him?
they tried to
Come
do it with
on.
Callisto.
He gets him and he falls for the 619. That he can get hit with a truck and that's not hurting Braun Strowman. And now the 619 has got him dizzy. Come on, just stop. Stop putting him against people that are like 20 times bigger than him. Lawrence Sullivan come to SmackDown. First person he attacks is Ray. Come on. No.
I would believe Ray beating Lawrence Sullivan though. I would believe that.
But he's still an overly big, powerful guy. I just want Ray to fight against a wrestler, not somebody that will beat them just by overpowering him. You know, it's been too many times where his whole underdog character is just everybody he's fighting is an underdog. If he fought against Daniel Bryan, they're both underdog. So it wouldn't be like he's just, of course, Daniel's going to cheat or something now, but it won't be that he's just beating him because he's so much stronger than him. It'll be he's beating him because he's going for his leg. He's using technical, stuff, not just, I'm just going to beat you because I'm, no matter what you do, I could just fling you across the ring. It would be actual technical, high flying, whatever, but it'll be a match, not just, against this monster and he just gets the hell beat out of him and then he comes back with a 619. He trips him up and he falls on the ropes. Up, here he goes. I want to see them actually have like the old school Ray matches that they used to have in WCW, where a person may be a little bit bigger than him, but not, 10 feet tall compared to him. So that he would be able to have a regular match with him and show what he can do and show more moves. And the person can show more moves than just, some big guy that can't fight against him, but he does all this stuff and you just swat him away. I mean, Ray can do 50 moves and then you just get hit one time. That's what's going to basically happen at the pay-per-view. He's going to do all of these moves and then he's just going to get RKO'd. He can do 50 moves, bam, he gets hit by the chair, it's over. And RKO. He's going to RKO him on the chair. Every time this whole storyline, every time Ray's come out there, he's beating with a chair, and then bam, Orton gets the upper hand again. He's never going to keep the upper hand. He's just always going to be more powerful, or it's always going to get him. So I can't stand it. But I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
I mean, it's the prediction show. We're going to rant. We're going to get off topic. You know what I'm saying? It's our nature. Like I said, we're transparent. It's just we can't stay on topic. It just has to be said. We can't stay on topic. That's just us. But that's what I like about us. We're real. We're authentic, and that's what you get when you come to market out amongst friends. You're going to mark out amongst your friends. Going to close the show out here, we'll move right into the final thought, as we do with every show. With me personally, I don't really have anything major. My final thought is just, we're heading back into the road of WrestleMania once again, biggest wrestling stretch every year. New interesting storylines that are coming up. I really can't wait to see what they're going to develop, and I can't wait to talk more about it in the future to see, who's going to be the new guy that's going to move into the main event picture in 2019. So, with the way that they're moving the main roster right now, can't wait to see it. That's in my final thought with that one. Mr. VIP, you got anything for
us? Basically, I'm gonna have to piggyback on yours. I'm basically it's gonna be this year. Hoping it's gonna be exciting because we're not gonna have the Roman and Brock Lesnar match that everybody just like, oh, not again. So we're not gonna have that now. And it's gonna be some people that haven't even been at WrestleMania, let alone had a moment or anything. Some of these haven't even had anything. Braun has been there, for a while, He's not really did. He's never had a real match in WrestleMania. You know, he's had the handicap crap with the tag team and the whole thing when he was with the Wyatts, but he's never really had just an actual match. So I'm excited to see what all they're gonna do with everybody coming. Royal Rumble's coming. That's one of my favorite pay-per-views of all. And just the thought of, like I said, I love the Royal Rumble. And then now think that from now on we get to have two Royal Rumbles, male and female, every year. The thing about the Royal Rumble, you always want to know who's going to come out. You want to know who's going to come back. Who's going to make a surprise appearance? Is anybody from NXT coming? What legend is going to pop up? And now we get to have women and men, both of them. It's just going to be so much excitement to see what's going to happen. And we know sooner or later Bray Wyatt is coming back. So what are they going to do with him? That's a major star coming back. So it's just waiting and watching to see what all is about to happen, what all they're about to do, who's going to step up to the plate and be the big dog, as they say, and see how we get on this road to WrestleMania, see what's about to be popping. That's my final thought.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, with that being a final thought, that'll close another show, another episode of Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast in the books. Once again, it's your boy Jay Reddy. Also, it's your boy Mr. VIP. And in absence, no Lady Great One, but she will be back with us next week. She was here with us in spirit. But anyway, that'll do it. Y'all have a good night. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on YouTube. Make sure you turn the notifications on so every time we go live, you'll know it. But anyway, Marking Out Amongst Friends, the podcast, out.